Israel has launched a series of attacks on Nasser hospital in southern Gaza. And according to the local authorities, at least 19 people have been killed, including 4 journalists.
لا حصل الآن خليك
Khan Yunis's Nasser hospital has been a long witness to IDF strikes as well as raids and bombardments throughout this 22 months of the war. The victims in Nasser hospital were killed in a double tap strike, with one missile hitting first and another just moments later. A rescue worker was also among those killed. The Israeli army says it will conduct initial inquiry after the strike on the Gaza hospital. According to Gaza's government media office, the 4 journalists that were killed in the Israeli attack on the Nasser hospital are Hossam al-Masri, a photojournalist associated with Reuters news agency; Mohammed Salama, a photojournalist with Al Jazeera; Moaz Abu Taha, who was associated with the NBC network; and Mariam Abu Daka, a journalist working with several media outlets, including the Independent Arabic and the Associated Press. More than 240 journalists have been killed by Israeli fire in Gaza since the war started on October 7, 2023, according to the Palestinian Journalists Syndicate. The recent strikes on the hospital coming as Israel is planning to step up the attack for Gaza takeover. The current death toll in the war has crossed 62,000. Israel approved a plan this month to seize control of Gaza City, describing it as the key approach to defeat Hamas. It is not expected to begin for a few weeks, leaving room for mediators Egypt and Qatar to try and resume the ceasefire talks. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, has vowed to press on with the offensive on the city where famine has been declared. Katz has said that Gaza City will be razed unless Hamas agrees to end the war on Israel's terms and release all hostages. Displaced Palestinians are sliding into starvation as Gaza's humanitarian crisis spirals, according to the latest integrated food security phase classification released on Friday. Over 500,000 people in Gaza are facing famine conditions marked by starvation and preventable deaths. Many locals who have been forced to reside in camps say that hunger has weakened them more and more.
We have no lentils, no flour, no sugar, no rice. You can come and see where we live. We go to sleep without dinner. As you can see, my body is thin. I suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. Hunger makes it so bad that I can no longer see clearly.
And with us on the broadcast from Ramallah is Mohammad Najib, who is a war journalist and security analyst. Thank you very much for being here. I have to begin by asking you for your comments on what we just narrated to our viewers about the situation on the ground in Gaza, specifically that attack that's taken place at the Nasser hospital.
Yeah, actually, also the journalist community here is very shocked and sad by the murder of 4 senior Palestinian journalists from Gaza who work for international media. And this weekend, the capability of the media to broadcast and to report what's happening in Gaza, taking in consideration that since the outbreak of this war on 7 October 23 right now, the Israeli government prevent all the foreign media entry to Gaza Strip. So the international media depends on those Palestinian local journalists who reports what's going there, and being targeting them considered as a war crime because they are, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists, more than 182 Palestinian journalists killed since the outbreak of this war. Targeting the hospital also is another issue, that civilians and patients there and medical staff. So it's not the first time the Israelis targeting the hospitals that operate with the lowest capability because they don't have enough medicines and all the needs to provide to the high number of patients and injured who came to receive and to seek for medical treatment at those hospitals. So the sufferance of Gaza, the starvations and the shortage of medicines and hospitalization, and also targeting the journalists complicate and duplicate the people, the sufferance since the outbreak of the war right now.
Right. What has been witnessed is a repeated targeting of hospitals and civilian infrastructure on part of Israel in Gaza. Now, in this specific attack now, Israel has said that it will be conducting an initial inquiry. I have to ask you for your assessment of what Israel has said about the earlier such attacks and even about the latest one.
Actually, since the attack and the murder of the foreign Palestinian journalists for foreign media, the foreign media worldwide protested against the IDF behavior. And then the IDF said, okay, we will conduct an inquiry and investigation on what's happened because of the wide manifestation wave that came from the international media. They are working for Reuters and other world leading media. So the international media protest strongly against the Israeli behaviors of targeting the journalists, and that's why they said they want to investigate the incident. And also the international community and organizations condemned the attacking of targeting of Palestinian hospitals, which is the civilian institutions and shouldn't be targeted. And the Israelis are operating in the Gaza Strip. And also they sent the drones to investigate what's happening before they targeting, but we don't know why today they decided to target them in this way and lead this 19 casualties among the civilians as well as among the journalists.
Where do you really see things going from here onwards? Israel had approved a plan this month itself to seize control of Gaza City, describing it as a key approach to defeat Hamas, but it's not expected to begin for a few weeks, leaving room for the mediators, Egypt and Qatar, to try and resume ceasefire talks. How optimistic are you really about that?
You know that the international community, the mediators, Egypt, Qatar, backed by the United States, seeking to end the war and to free the Israeli hostages from the Gaza Strip and end the sufferance of the 2 million Palestinians there. But seems the Israeli Prime Minister has a different agenda, that he doesn't want to end this war, and he ordered his armed forces, the IDF, to continue the attack against Gaza City, and they called for the evacuation of people to the south. So it's like if they continue with this plan, they will evacuate or displace 1 million Palestinians to an area that already suffers from the shortage of food and drinkable water and basic humanitarian needs. So that's duplicated the sufferance of the Palestinians in Gaza, and it was a lot of warning that this is a collective punishment against civilians. So the civilians who are suffering is not Hamas who are suffering because of the Israeli government policy against the Gaza Strip.
We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us with your perspectives.
Thank you.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.